Hello and good morning. Welcome to Fascinating Facts Literary Who Am I? A program brought to you by the Alexander Hamilton Memorial Free Library the first Tuesday of every month at 9 a.m. Thanks for joining me. I'll give you a set of clues and you see if you can figure out which literary great I'm talking about. Let's get started. Most novelists have some pretty odd ways of getting inspired, but this British novelist would actually climb mulberry trees, totally nude, to help stimulate his imagination. I guess whatever works. Do you know who it was? That author's name was D.H. Lawrence. Most famous for writing A Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist, and David Copperfield, among many others, this author was so intrigued by dead bodies that he would spend a lot of time at the Paris morgue. Who was that author? That author's name was Charles Dickens. The author of Mary Poppins didn't see eye to eye with Walt Disney when her book was adapted into a children's sing-along film. She loathed the songs and didn't agree with how Mary Poppins was portrayed. Poppins, in her book, was supposed to be a rather sharp and brisk woman, not gentle and kind. What was the name of the author of the Mary Poppins books? Her name was P.L. Travers. And this author collaborated with musician John Mellencamp to write and produce the musical Ghost Brothers of Darkland County. It's a Southern Gothic tale of two brothers in a haunted cabin and has a star-studded soundtrack that includes Sheryl Crow, Chris Christopherson, Elvis Costello, and many more. Which author am I talking about? None other than Stephen King. After a series of tragic childhood events that resulted in the death of her mother's abusive boyfriend, this author did not speak for a total of 5 years, as she believed her words had caused the death. Do you know who this author was? Her name was Maya Angelou. This Irish novelist was one of world literature's most famous astrophobics. In case you didn't know, astrophobia refers to an intense fear of thunder and lightning. Biographers believe this author developed this fear when his Catholic teachers told him thunder was a sign of God's wrath. What was the name of the author? The author's name? James Joyce. And in 1886, this science fiction legend was almost killed by his nephew Gaston. Gaston fired 2 shots, one which hit this author's shin, causing a lifelong limp. Police quickly arrested Gaston and locked him away in a mental institution. Which author ended up with that limp? Jules Verne. Many film critics believe this sci-fi author novels were the main sources of inspiration for the 2009 blockbuster Avatar. In particular, critics see stark parallels between Avatar and this author's novella, The Word for World is Forest. Fans of James Cameron's epic film should really give this short book a read-through. Who was this author? Did you guess? This author's name is Ursula K. Le Guin. The author of Tarzan worked as a pencil sharpener salesman before he tried his hand at fiction. Indeed, he only started writing at the age of 36 to support his wife and 2 children. Do you know what his name is? Well, the author of Tarzan is Edgar Burroughs. This Irish dramatist was a close friend with the wrestler Andre the Giant. Andre's father, Boris Rusimov, actually helped this author build his farm in northern Paris. In return for this favor, The author agreed to drive the young Andre into school every day. Who was he? His name was Samuel Beckett. Sci-fi author H.G. Wells worked as a math teacher shortly before publishing his iconic The Time Machine. Wells' most famous student was none other than the author of Winnie the Pooh. This author's father, John, was a schoolmaster at the Henley House School and employed Wells between 1889 and 1890. What was the name of the author? Do you know the name of the author of Winnie the Pooh? That author's name is A.A. Milne. And there you have it. That is our latest in our Fascinating Facts Literary Who Am I? I hope you enjoyed today's show. We will be back the first Tuesday of next month with another full round of Literary Who Am I? Thank you so much.